Back in the business.
Back in the business.
Me.
What's up, everyone? The intros will be crazy with this lady. It's Eli Adam. I'm Jan Bors, and today on my channel, my girlfriend and me will be talking about it will be reacting on the results of the Eurovision 2025 semi-final one. Also, what we were talking about during, how it was impressing us, and because Ellie fell asleep before the results were coming, some revelations for her probably will be shocking, especially because what we are talking during this. But first, I need to ask Ellie about your impression for the semi-final Eurovision, because this is your second Eurovision with me. Before that, Eurovision kind of a little bit came around you, even though once I know that you were a little bit supposed to work for a Romanian team a little bit, but we will not get to this. But because we are both television professionals, this is kind of a possibility, what comes ahead of us. Ellie is a stylist, one of the best in Romania, if not the best. Like, in my opinion, she is the best. She will never admit it, but I know. So maybe, although we will talk a little bit about costumes in some ways, definitely in some case I know that you would like to talk about it a little bit more. And we will go through it, but I need to ask you, like, how it was. What was your impression?
Like, overall, I had a good impression, really. Like, with few exceptions, but overall, it was good. There were some songs I liked, but I'm more commercial, so I like commercial music more. But I liked it overall. Like, the show was extremely nice from my perspective. Now let's see exactly one by one.
Don't push me that way, because I also would like to stress out that the show was quite really nice. It was, from my perspective, it was a little bit more boring than, for example, last year from the Swedes, which they created like a more fascinating show in the way how it was funny from the host and so on. In my opinion, for example, the hosts.
I forgot about the host.
The hosts were kind of, there were like blend situation in Czechia when there are those like empty moments, kind of, we say palma, and there were plenty of it. Like, it somehow didn't belong to the tempo of the show, which after all was amazingly well done. Like, the show started with a nice opener, and then a few minutes and we were in the action. Iceland was first. So let's talk a little bit about the host talking, because from my perspective, they weren't really that funny, or there were two hosts, and the second host was, in my opinion, a little bit more prepared, more reliable, smiley, and so on, and the other one was kind of a stiff.
She was very stiff. Like, you could feel she's not very comfortable there, and I think also their connection wasn't too tight, like the chemistry. I don't know how to call it. And you also said last night that she was more funny, the blonde lady. She was funny in those videos presenting the contestants.
Yes,
somehow.
It was kind of more natural somehow.
Yes.
And actually, when you're talking about presenting let's about the host. Also, what do you say about how they were dressed?
Like, I saw it also last year, and they were wearing also suits, colorful suits somehow. And I don't know if this is a dress code for Eurovision.
For sure not.
But maybe I would like to see something else also,
like really woman dress.
Yes, this is a safe zone, the suit, also colorful,
But maybe it comes to the Swiss elegance, right? Somehow this kind of
I don't know, because last year they were wearing also suits, if you remember.
Yes.
And that's why I asked if it's a dress code, because if not, I would like to see something more, because it's a show.
And it's the biggest show in the world.
Like, I could dress like this with a suit, with colorful suit, and I have colorful suit, but I'm not going to Eurovision and also hosting it,
Yes.
I would like to see that they are hosts in Eurovision, Of course, I liked more the green outfit.
Green what? It was green?
It was neon green, yes.
I thought it's yellow,
I also like the other outfit, but somehow, like, I like the idea of the other outfit with those embellishments, but somehow it's maybe also because of the lady who was very stiff, she wasn't reacting, having gestures,
Yes.
communicating like this, non-verbal also. She was like this and talking.
Maybe that was the main one, and for me this was kind of a weird, because she didn't translate any emotion. It all looked like she's just reading it from the teleprompter, and
Yes.
it wasn't feeling natural.
Yes, Maybe also this connected with this jacket, full of these embroideries. I don't know, something was not working there.
Something was not working there.
More points of view,
Yes.
Not only clothes, but see how also clothes are connected and are important.
They are. And actually, let's move on to the. I will do it in the order they were presenting themselves.
Finally.
And finally, thank you. And I'm just looking where the show is because I will basically open it in here. We will not play it now. I will just skip it to just remind what was after each other. Like, this is green. It is, right? Like, for me, it's like more like yellow. That's why I'm not a stylist. For this, I need a special
That's why
person
you
to
need
do
me.
it.
Period.
She's right. Anyway, let's move on. The first on the list who was presenting their song was Iceland with their song from Roa, which is called, how it's called, the song. Oh my god, now I'm feeling stupid. No, the Roa is the band. The Vibe is the band, and the song is called Roa. I'm sorry, really. It was long day, long night, everything, because the results were crazy, and it was a nice opener, right?
Yes. Yes. Like full of energy and good vibes somehow. They started strongly, with power. This is what I liked.
I really remember when this artificial graphical Minecraftish octopus came to the screen. I was like, see what kind of effects they can do live, and Ellie was like,
What is this?
not impressed.
No.
Of course, I think this is not a song for us. It's for more like a younger audience, and also probably everybody who likes the
Also
fun
the costumes.
and the
for
costumes.
younger audience.
Yes, but they worked, and it was very energetical, and it didn't have a blank moment, in my opinion. And I liked it. In general, I like the stagings this year. Kind of. Of course, in my masterclass, I will describe what was working, what was not working. There, from more like a technical point of view than subjective point of view, what I like more or less, because there are some stagings which I don't like. For example, by principle, we will get very soon to it, aesthetically, but for what it did and how it did it, somehow it worked well. This staging from Iceland was working well. My impression was like I expected less. They delivered more energy. It was kind of very nice to watch.
Yes, this is the word energy.
That was the only thing what I didn't like, and I don't understand why Eurovision needs to do this. When the guys took the glasses off and they had the makeup around, looking like, I don't know, like trans, and I was like, but why this, like it didn't bring any kind of like great energy or something. It was like forced, that's how it felt to me, but didn't definitely take off my joy from watching this show. So the guys did it. The singing wasn't really there. It wasn't perfect, but it was like, this is like a jumpy pop song, like so for this, what kind of expectations might I have it? But it was a good impression. I expected a little bit worse, delivered better. It was kind of fine. And
I just have one mention because you want to go to the other number, no?
no, tell me what mention.
No, talking about costumes, because you said you like them. I also like them
Yes.
overall, but for example, what I didn't like and I didn't understand, and somehow it bothered my eye. My eye, one of my eye was like this, struggling.
That means that something was
Something
wrong.
wasn't working.
Wasn't working. Yeah.
It was this for the dancers. Under the upper part, I think they had some overalls, and underneath for the upper part they had a leotard or a blouse, with some prints.
I don't know if I can find it now without playing it.
Here.
Ah, yes.
See? So it's an overall.
Oh,
like
yes,
this
because not to be naked.
This industrial overall somehow, and underneath they had something very fitted to the body, like a body. This is how we call it, with those prints.
Yes.
Which I think they were unnecessary because, how to say this? For the dancers, you don't have close-ups. You cannot see exactly what those prints are, and
Yes.
your eyes are forcing to understand what is that print. And
This is very fascinating point.
Unnecessary
Because
for the dancers.
Because it's dragging attention for no reason. Because
I was like, what?
now I can see it. I didn't pay attention to this.
What are they wearing there? What is those prints? What is the shape? What do they mean? What they want to express? You know?
Yes, and also in this fast pace when it's shot on also like 25p, which is like normal. I'm also shooting in it, but if I will move very fastly, you cannot really see exactly perfectly the detail because it's impossible.
Exactly, and very fast. They were dancing very fast.
Yes, and also fast-paced camera movements, fast-paced edits, and so on. So you have no point of...
No, also no close-ups, you know, for these dancers. And I was struggling the entire number to see what is there, those red dots or marks, you know, or stains on them. Totally unnecessary. It's better, from my point of view, to keep it clean, you know, clean.
To keep the one which are not in the focus connected, but...
Like, why to ruin this...
now when I see it now in here, I will take a print screen so you will see what I see. It's also annoying me. I didn't pay attention to this because I was paying attention, you know, to the edit, to the camera angles, if the vibe really works, if it makes sense. For me, it really worked. Some maybe unnecessary moments also, as I said, with the makeup, why?
Yes.
We didn't bring anything and just put a question in my head.
Yes.
But overall, I enjoyed it. But let's move on to the second. And the second performer was Justyna Steckowska from Poland.
The lady,
which I think we both agree that 52-year-old, amazing performance from 52-year-old, from the point of what she all did there.
If only I would look the same like her when I will be not even 52, you know, 40, at least 40, to look like this and move like this and...
Like she practiced for sure extremely lot. She worked and...
brilliant.
And for this, for sure, but for me, you know, Eurovision is not Olympics of what everything you can do at the same time. And for me, this staging in general, it was like, I understand what...
This was with the dragons.
That was with the dragons, yes. And I was like, alright, but technically very good, you know, edits, camera angles, the pace. But there was happening so many things at the same time, and if something for me, it feels unauthentic at all, like is this number. And the reason is not because I hate Poland, Justyna Steckowska, the song. The thing is that there was like every single Eurovision kind of cliche, and then there is this backstory which I know. If I maybe don't know it, maybe I would take it differently. It is very Polish, very Slavic, you know, tradition and so on. But gay dancers are not a Slavic tradition. Even like, you know, guys on high heels, it has nothing to do with Slavic tradition. And when I hear this and I connect it, it feels like a...
Wait a minute, they are wearing high heels?
Yes.
The guys?
Yes.
What? I missed this?
You missed this because they were not that much in the picture.
Now I'm
and
worried.
You were and Elia was also cooking during this a little bit.
I was cooking. At least I have an excuse.
So and for me, this is first of all has nothing to do with Slavic tradition. So why to use this kind of backstory? Because I have it in my head, and that I know that it's created just for Eurovision, and it feels like, so what will work at Eurovision? Who's the biggest fans of Eurovision? Let's please them. And for me, this is not authentic, because you just do music as you do, or you pleasing some audience. This is an audience pleaser at some point, but the staging from technical standpoint now, I'm talking, editing, lights, pace, that was really working, but there were so many things. So many, violin, dragon, hanging, but nothing was really connected to anything. It was just there for the effect. This is how I feel it. I don't feel it. It's a part of some very bigger story, because I don't believe the story at all, because there are so many elements which are not even Polish, not even Slavic, and what does it even mean, the Slavic mythology, and so on. And so many artificial put things into some kind of thing. It was a Eurovision, like there was in 2016 there was like a song, interval act, I don't remember the name, but it was about what everything must be in Eurovision song to be successful, and basically that was basically everything there. For me, then it loses this attractiveness, and of course she did amazing performance. The song, in my opinion, I'm not a fan of this song, let's put it this way. I cannot really say that the performance of hers, how she did it, was
brilliant.
this was brilliant,
She was
like
brilliant.
kind of, but I don't think 2025 era. But she's extremely popular in Poland, even outside Poland. Like for Polish people, it's a legend. So somehow it makes sense, but it's just absolutely not for me. And I'm very curious how many points she will drag by public in the finals, because she qualified, which wasn't obvious she qualified. Yes. This is a shock. You will. Oh my God, there will be lots of shocks.
The first one qualified, Iceland.
Yes. Right? So, as we are going to ridiculousness Eurovision because there are no juries, we already started. I wanted to get that a
I
little
want to cry.
You will cry later, for sure, I guarantee you this.
No, where are you going? Stop.
Oh, you want to talk more about Poland?
Yes, please, if it's possible, proceed.
Yes, because I was talking, now it's
Have
your
a
turn.
sip.
Now it's your turn, yes. I'm sorry.
I know it's your channel, but I'm your girlfriend.
No, come on, you're here because I want to hear your opinion and didn't give you a space, so you're right.
Oh my God, I didn't see those high heels. Now I hate it even more.
You hated it?
Like I will start differently. I like her outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it fits her with the long black dark hair, with her attitude, I love it. But those dancers dressed like this, we are in 2025, and they are distracting my attention from her.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are wearing kind of the same outfits, same fabrics, and they also have these flying fabrics around
Like
here.
skirts.
And also the makeups. Like now when I look at this picture,
Mm-hmm. I will also take the picture.
I'm looking more at those dancers. They are full of makeup everywhere. They have here something gold, their forehead, Why should some dancers, like also in the other case, the first one with Iceland, this take my attention more than the
But maybe this is from the picture, right? Because from the general staging, she was definitely the point of the focus.
Yes, but
It's
ugly. Those dancers are ugly dressed like this. Sorry. And the makeup, I think it's passé, It's passé. Like it reminds me of Ruslana. Like Ruslana was
But
amazing.
2024. 2004, pardon.
2004, like 20 years ago. What are we talking about? Let's be more modern, or at least to interpret some Slavic tradition, or how they call it, inspiration.
Which has nothing to do with it, that I'm normally telling you.
I don't know this, for example, personally.
Well, it is Romanian, I'm Czech.
But let's interpret this, this inspiration in a more modern way that looks good. Like, for example, if those dancers were wearing black and that's it would have been brilliant. They are ruining the image.
Yes, but I think this is a tragical thing about Polish aesthetics in general at Eurovision, that they always somehow put it's not chic, it's not fit.
No, it's not chic at all. It's not cool.
It's not elegant, it's not cool, exactly.
It's not anything. This is what I want to see. She's cool, but they are kind of surrounding her. She also is losing this coolness, she's losing it.
Like for me, this is like zero authenticity when I see just this picture with 3 boys, 1 girl there, dancers.
This is not a girl?
No, this is also a boy. Yes, and I know.
And those high heels?
Yes, I think this is this Eurovision pleasing thing, like to have also LGBT input in it.
I also want to please
but for
people,
me,
but not doing something that I wouldn't normally do,
when I talk about Slavic tradition, whatever it is, this is not part of it, So for me, exactly, this is like, don't invent the story. Say we did exclusive Game of Thrones, Slavical Game of Thrones version.
Yes.
And then I would say, fine, this is it. Yes. But don't put it as a Slavic tradition with some Gaia and things with completely invented words and put it into some tradition. For me, it's scamming me. It's trying to tell me something what doesn't exist, and I should believe it, but I don't. I'm sorry, I'm not that biased. So for me, of course, this is like I understood that, like I knew that it will qualify. That was my impression because I know the diaspora, like because it's only public voting. I would be
They say
curious.
no.
I would be curious about jury voting. If
Me
they
too.
also put her up, I would more likely say it was more likely to the lower part, and in public it was for sure very high because I believe she was having this backup, and also I think and now to be the devil's advocate, I think for many Eurovision hardcore fans this was like crazy because it was this thing where nothing is missing, and it was kind of funny, because I read so many comments. Basically, they take it as a jokish thing.
This?
Yes, because it's also, come on, we were laughing when the dragon were coming there, right?
Ah, yes, talking about the dragons, that was like
What?
kindergarten level. It was kindergarten.
Yes.
Like, how can you buy this?
From
You
graphical
cannot.
point of view, how LED screens and so on, that was really like makes that was not
And
2025.
No, this is what I'm saying also about the costumes. It's not, like if you, for example, if you want to do 2025 costumes for the dancers, having this inspiration, you, for example, use only the upper part here for the shoulders, and I don't know what other accessories on the hands, and then you do some baggy pants, like cool,
Yes.
to do a styling, to be cool,
Yeah,
to-
this is like a opera thing.
Yes, it is. These are not outfits, these are costumes. And when you are wearing a costume on a stage, you are not authentic.
Yeah, that's true.
You just take a costume. What costume? Like Shrek.
It's a mask.
Take Shrek, put it on you, and you are a mask. No, if you want to use it as an inspiration, you adapt it, and you use it in your own way to be authentic.
Yes.
I think this is the general idea for
Maybe this is
number.
it why it's completely controversial number for me, for example. But anyway, Poland made it.
Yes.
Why
Bravo.
not? I'm not questioning this. And let's move on to the. Do you have something more to say?
No, just congratulations also for Iceland.
Yes. But let's go to Slovenia. Slovenia, Clement is amazing. From my perspective,
It was very
amazing
emotional.
ballad, very emotional.
Very
I was very worried that they will not do a good staging because they are not very, let's say, historically good in it that much, or definitely not following my taste, how I would approach it, for example, me personally. But I was very surprised how very gently they did it, also with some additional videos from the family videos and so on. He was extremely he prepared this role. It was very authentic, in my opinion, from him, and I was very surprised that he was singing very well. Also, how they sing the back
And
vocalist with
also
him.
when he was backward.
This was the only downside for me in
Yes.
this, because I think this take the authenticity of the song because they needed to add this effect, but it makes no sense in such a song. I think they don't need to do it, and in my for me, I told you even during the broadcast that they are doing this unnecessary moment for showing off exactly what I know, and again, story-wise, I understand it. The world turned around.
Yes.
But I don't think that people would really take it as like, oh my god, they're doing Eurovision for such a nice song. So that was the mistake in my opinion, a big one, a really big one. But on the other hand, it was a moment which completely was taken off by the other part of the song, also with the reveal of his wife and the ending. But the whole thing was
amazing
extremely
moment.
gentle and really good. And mind what, he didn't qualify.
Yes, because anyway, people are not very ballad type, in general, I think. Or at least in Eurovision somehow.
It probably depends. I think there are two bad things for Slovenia, three bad things in general. First of all, Slovenia doesn't have the really diaspora and didn't have even neighbors in the semi-final.
Of course.
So this is already
Disadvantage.
It's a clear disadvantage. It is. It is. Whatever everybody said.
And not only for Slovenia, for all the countries in this kind of situation.
Second of all, also in this whole bunch of songs, Switzerland was presenting their song, and it's also amazing ballad. But Switzerland is not competing; it's automatically in the final.
Yes.
So people will say, "But the Switzerland was better." So that's but you shouldn't be there first of all. At least in the moment when the guys are calling. So it's another bad move. And also, I'm absolutely sure that with combined juries voting, this is qualifying. And the juries are not there.
It was very emotional.
I'm telling you this, and I'm telling this now, not because I'm super, they also did mistake in the staging, right, and so on, but he was one of the least who really could sing the song. He really could do it. Iceland couldn't do it, and so many others, they had issues. So many others. On the internet, of course, you read, but the singing wasn't that perfect. They didn't qualify, blah blah blah. But okay, but he did sing perfectly. He was actually one of the best in there. If I count off completely those automatic qualifiers, I think he was just behind them. If I don't count Justyna Steckovská, which was, but it's completely different kind of thing, uncomparable. This was brilliant. And I'm telling you that if there are also juries, this is qualifying. And I'm also telling you that this, because this didn't qualify, it will be extremely hard for Slovenian producers to find artists to, first of all, want to compete at Eurovision, because they will say, like, of course, if this didn't qualify, what would qualify? What would qualify? So we need to send something jokish or something completely tasteless, because this is what people like to vote.
So the conclusion is bring jury back. It's that simple.
Bring jury back. Don't put the big 5 country plus host country into the bunch of songs which are competing.
Yes.
And probably many other things. But this just proves that this rule is crazy, because like if I would know what shadow jury was voting for, and I'm absolutely sure that they voted them on, I'm absolutely sure of it, then how would you describe it when you come home, you know, like I think the people who were in charge of Eurovision, and I'm not talking directly into EBU, because those decisions are made by steering group and by this other group, which I don't never remember the name. And there were people who were from the countries who, for example, doesn't need to qualify. They don't know how it is to find artists, how to tell them what Eurovision is.
Yes.
And then they will see, because those people will say, okay, show me what was there. I was like, this didn't qualify. Okay, I will not go there. I will not risk it. I will not risk my reputation, my time, because those people need to take 3 months off from the work almost all the time. They need to practice, they take it seriously, and then boom. People are voting for people who cannot sing. So this is tragical for Slovenia as a country who wants to be at Eurovision, you know. You always need to see a bigger picture, wider picture, and I know how it is to find artists. And I know how hard it is, and what they want, and what do they expect. And for example, Lake Malawi from Czechia wouldn't ever be at Eurovision if there are no juries. This was one of their specific things, because they weren't sure, because they said, like, but we are indie band, like people probably want that vote, that, you know. And those are little details which makes people to go to Eurovision or just not, simply. And then the Eurovision will be killed by the quality, because if I'm Slovenian producer now, and if they want withdraw, I would say, okay, next year if this rule will be still on, we need to bring joke act, because this is a safer way to go through, logically. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's a logical conclusion. And those...
That made me sad.
Yes, the few people destroyed a little bit of Eurovision for quality. Anyway, Slovenia didn't qualify. In my opinion, it's a shame. But okay, it is what it is. So if you have nothing else to say, do you have something else to say,
Yes.
please? Yes, go. Sorry, I always... But you know me.
It's okay. I like to listen to you.
Don't. Come.
But so, I didn't like those videos and photos they projected.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this idea in Eurovision. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Like, for example, I was thinking even last night where I would like those videos and photos for a concert or a performance. And I think I would like it for, I don't know, something in memory of something, like, but dedicated the entire concert or the entire, you know, like something tragical happened or...
But actually this is the story of this song, right?
Yes, it is. But in this context, it's maybe a personal thing.
For sure. This is okay.
And talking about the rest of the staging, I liked those little stars. I really liked it. And I also like the idea that they tried to somehow imitate those stars with his outfit, because he's sparkling but very soft, exactly like those little stars from behind.
I'm taking a screenshot.
I was thinking now, what if, I don't know, if maybe it would have been a better idea for him to wear a black t-shirt instead of a white t-shirt. I don't know why. But
He would look more elegant, right?
I have this in my mind, and also he would really feel that he belongs to the universe, you know, somehow. Like this, because everything is black, yes?
Yes.
Most of it.
Yes.
And this white here, it draws me the attention
Yes,
to
actually now when I
here.
see it...
Why? When I need to see his face more. And to...
This is true.
To, you know, feel this universe. And now I'm focusing on this white t-shirt. But I like the idea of keeping it more simple, you know, a t-shirt and this sequined jacket or...
I don't know if I have a better shot in here now.
Jacket or this
Here.
bomber, I don't know exactly. It's a jacket, yes.
It's a jacket, yes.
But, you know, something with this white...
Yes, but now when are you talking with a white t-shirt, it doesn't belong, right?
It doesn't belong, yes. And I was trying to imagine it, how it would look with black.
I was focusing on his face actually, but I'm also always looking at it a little bit different eye.
You know the song very well, you
That's
know
true.
the artist, you know, already. For me, it was the first time when I saw it, you know.
Yes.
That's why I'm getting distracted. Also because I have my eyes constructed the way I need to.
Yes,
look
it's your
for the
job
clothes.
after all.
Yes.
Your profession.
Other than this, yes, very emotional moment with his wife. Brilliant, brilliant.
You know what I liked on it? That it didn't felt
It was
forced.
natural, yes.
And this was
Came
a
natural.
mastery to do it because it was kind of extremely nice, gentle moment.
And I also like that they dressed her very neutral, you know, simple, beige, no distraction, no nothing. Also feminine, you know. Just what it needed, you know, the entire performance. But for him, maybe a simple black t-shirt would have been more suitable in this context with the universe, the sky, the, you know, stars.
Now I see it actually. I think you are right. Yes. You know?
Who knows? Maybe on camera, black wouldn't have looked that good. But
It depends what kind.
yes.
What kind of material.
Yes.
But let's move on.
Let's move on to espresso.
Espresso macchiato.
Macchiato.
I will let you talk first.
Oh my god, this funny guy. So I know this song from TikTok. I started using TikTok more often. I'm trying to be cool, you know.
But you are cool.
And to be cool, it seems that nowadays you need to be on TikTok as much as you can. Anyway, I'm
Follow her there, Eli Adam.
so I know this song from TikTok. I didn't know it's from Eurovision, blah blah blah, but I found it funny. Also the song and also the performance. You know, I cannot comment on the costume because it's a simple costume but funny with this long bow tie. Bow tie is called?
Bow tie, yes.
This? No, it's...
What is a bow? Bow tie. Tie.
Bow is not this. You
But this is
put on
tie,
the
like a red tie.
tie, yes. This long tie. Finally. And his dancing was... It made me laugh. It gave me such a good vibe. I know it's maybe a silly song, but I enjoyed it. This is the word, you know.
Yes, actually, I must say that
Impression.
when you accept the fact that such a songs are at Eurovision competing now, for obvious reasons, because they have it, he qualified, of course, that they
I'm
have
not
it easier.
surprised.
But I'm also not surprised, and I think he would qualify even with juries. Not that
Yes.
juries would put points, but that the public will overcome the juries, you
He
know.
was extremely charismatic. I also love this, you know. To
Yes.
express. It doesn't
And
matter.
For me, it was an amazing parody. It was parody which doesn't
Yes.
try to cover it's a parody. It was parody on purpose. Also, I really like the fact when this public attack, how it's called, this disturber, this, how does it called?
Fun?
The fun disturbs the concert, but it's a some that doesn't matter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Fanatic? I don't know.
Something, whatever. It was stage intruder, something like this.
Yes.
But it was a funny moment, and from the very I think the beginning was just not that funny as how it was escalated to more and more and more and more fun, to make it a true joke, true parody, really. And even though it wasn't, in my opinion, shot amazingly perfectly, and he didn't sing it perfectly and everything, the issue with the joke acts when they are openly fun is that you don't need to do anything like this. Actually, when everything goes kind of wrong, can be good because it feels even more stupid, you know. But stupid authentically, you know, like those the best comedies are doing those moments extremely kind of unprepared, raw, you know.
If I would go in Eurovision, like, let's imagine this, you know, how you know me. I would do a stupid act, funny act, you know, on stage. Like, I would be the cherry on top of stupid, funny, jokey
Like
acts.
very possibly you will get to the finals because this is what nowadays works.
Thank you.
No, but anyway, like I must admit that I really had also fun. I was laughing, you know, because it was when you accept that okay, this is from and who knows me from my perspective of Eurovision, this is degrading the brand. It does. But on the other hand, when it at least done like this, and you can really like laugh, and all of this Italian like combination of the, like weirdly combinations of the like it was a parody. I think it also somehow supplemented like our Eastern European more humor, which is more dark, which is more making fun of other people, and that you know all of this. And I think this was exactly this. Doesn't try to hide it smartly, but it was there on point, making fun of everything. Nothing is saint, and I think this is kind of humor we really admire. And in my opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, I'm very curious because after the finals they will reveal how people were voting actually. Who won the semi-final, who was last, and what points. I think he won the public vote.
Yes.
At least from those jokish acts.
Because of TikTok, I'm telling you.
And also he did a good strategy. This song is catchy. It's a catchy, stupid song, but it's because it's purposely done well, funny, and also because it's kind of English. It's understandable. Yes, but it's don't be depressed. You know, you understand this.
Yes.
Because this is the part of the parody. It's funny, and I think.
But you need to be very smart to play with words like this, you know. So if he wrote this song or whoever wrote it, like I like it.
Me too, actually, and I think this is one of the like hits which can become hits after Eurovision or have life after Eurovision because it has this universal talk, universal language.
It is, yes.
Somehow. But do you have something more to add?
No.
Okay, so let's move on. And the fifth act.
If you can believe it.
If I believe it. The fifth, it was Spain. But you know what? Do you want to talk about it?
Why?
Let's talk. No, because I was thinking maybe that we will scratch out the people, like the countries which didn't fighting for qualification because Spain is automatically in the finals.
Okay.
But I think we can. But I think because you have some nice touches about the dress, that maybe we can talk about it.
Like, let's hope people are also interested in my.
If not, they can skip
comments.
it. But I'm interested actually because we were just talking about it very briefly yesterday.
Yes.
So tell me, esta diva melody Spain.
I was commenting on the hat last night, saying that it's too small in compared to the volume of the dress, of the first dress, right?
Of the black dress.
Changed the dresses. So also how the moment started, it should have been an impressive dress.
Huge.
A huge, like bigger hat, you know.
Now I can see that it feels funnily small actually.
And it makes the entire appearance and the entire outfit cheap, improvised, you know, like made in 1 hour, you know. I don't want to. It's diva. She needs to be diva, and when you are a diva, you are bigger, brighter, more glamorous, more sexy than anyone. You know?
And you're not afraid. Which she wasn't afraid.
Like she wasn't afraid, but whoever gave her this small hat, it should have been, you know, like for those shoulders, those.
I actually think they also should be bigger.
Bigger, and the hat should have reached them, you know, like with
cover
the size,
them.
you know.
Yes, now when I see it, it feels it. Although this image when I, of course, this is out of context because it needs to be in movement, but it looks a little bit funny.
It is.
But okay, but this wasn't her dress, the last one. That was the first one, and then she basically switched to this traditional dancey Jennifer Lopez, Beyonce style.
Taylor Swift, whoever, Beyonce, yes, everyone. Like, also about this, I need to comment that I would really like to see more, you know, like to overcome this dancey outfit, you know.
Like, because otherwise, after all, she didn't dance that much.
Like we've seen this outfit, this kind of outfit, in everyone's.
Cliché?
It's a cliche, yes, and it's also passé. Like
It is passé?
yes, like everyone wore it. Everyone, even in Romania last year, they wore it like crazy. This kind of outfit, crazy. All the the artists, all the ladies on stage, they were wearing this kind of outfit. I had enough. It was last year, okay, I understood last year. It was a trend. But now we are 1 year later. Let's upgrade.
Upgrade, yes. Like for me, I don't know if I mind it that much, but I'm looking at it from a different perspective again, from camera work and the general feeling and so on. Again, I will do a masterclass for this. Is a perfect thing for masterclass because there were moments which worked amazingly, and then there were moments which, in my opinion, didn't help the song, didn't work. And moments, for example, the bridge when they went to this diva, those like very vroom, 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 those kind of sounds, you know. They have this immersive inceptionist movie style, which I like in music because it really worked as a bridge, but it wasn't shot the way that it could really. It was just what's going on. Is that this can be shot really slow motion, without slow motion, you know, but you can create this effect. It's not that hard to do even, but for me, my biggest impression of this, like first of all, she can sing. Like I'm not super fan of the song because for me this is like this, okay, million times Spanish song I heard million times, like this even like because we are listening together some Spanish song music actual, such a good market for music, and this is not part of those charting songs at all. It's not. And the reason is, I think this is like but okay, it represents Spain because you can clearly say it's Spanish. Actually, it's very similar to Polish narrative, kind of, not with the story, but with the what it like the song, and it definitely represented Spain. The thing I didn't like on the staging, and then I will later come to this completely in a big masterclass, is that her disconnection with the dancers. That they were like LEDs were doing something, she was doing something, and the dancers were doing something. And even if they were together, those things didn't felt connected together, like different units. Also, the way how it was shot, in my opinion, didn't really help it. So I'm very curious how it will do in the finals. I think it will do a little bit better than I expected because she really can sing. And also, in compared to numbers I already saw, not that it would stand out, but definitely it's not worse at some point. So I'm extremely curious if this will take people's phones to the hands to vote for it, because on the other hand, I don't think this is too much jury. She can sing, yes. Some artists, they had issues. We saw it. So this is a plus, but of course this shouldn't be a question at Eurovision, you know, singing. So it's, and also the way how she sings is also like this, like Poland. It's this kind of obsolete kind of drama. You know, it's not anymore about such high noting and everything. There are smarter, more creative, more pleasant ways than exhibition.
Now you understand also my problem with the clothes.
And if you do this, let's okay. If you do over the top, be like everything to put over the top. Yes, I understand. Everything to Spain?
Yes.
All right. So let's move on to another competing country, which in this case was Ukraine. So I will tell you something. Ukraine was receiving extreme hate during the whole time from Ukrainians, from people from abroad, from fans, also there, because they won. I think I will give you a little context how I feel it. That when you compare Ukrainian national selection from this year and previous years, I think this was very weaker. It was very different, I would say, at least. And the Ziffer Blood won. I was like I don't know, you know. But the other thing is that then I saw them live, their live performance, and you know, from professional point of view, I don't know from people's view, but from a professional point of view, when you see them performing, you feel and see the love for music they have. And this is very rare, because if I, for example, compare it to Spain, this is a straight New Year's Eve event, this professional performance. But I saw such million times when I was doing television, you know. But this has a soul. This was having a soul, and I was extremely curious. And for some reason, people of course hate that they are having the war. So they are, more. They have also Ukrainians now everywhere. That this is unfair, blah blah blah. Like I can say, it's unfair that Iceland went through the guys who couldn't sing, right? So let's be a little bit, or the espresso macchiato, which is simply a joke, like those guys can sing, those guys can perform, and you can also tell that those guys love their song. They're not just performing it; they're loving it, and the way how they shot it in this haze and effects, and with those effects with the back vocals, how they put the back vocals in the stage, like this was pure art. And musically, when you all combine it live, it's not a song I would put in my headphones. It's not my thing. But when I see it, from my own perspective, this was the best staging of the night. By far, and best performance.
And from my own perspective, these were the best outfits of the night.
And you must explain, because I asked you, because you immediately say, I know the design.
I didn't check. Maybe I can check now, but...
check it.
You have the... No, I will take my phone.
Take it, no worries.
Oh. I'm curious if I'm right. If I'm right, if I'm right. If I'm not right, I'm not right. But because I'm following an Ukrainian fashion brand, the biggest, the most famous, Oh, yes.
They wear costume. So you tell how they are called.
They are called Frolov Heart, and I don't remember how I got into them on Instagram.
But I will just tell you the story. Immediately when she saw them, she was like, "Oh my God, they were this like amazing, one of the best nowadays current designers in the world, most trending
in the world, exactly. I think
in the world,
like the best in Ukraine and one of the best in the world. They are like and they have this statement with the heart, This
what he has on the dress. I will again take the
how
print
easily I recognized it, the brand. Also, of course, I made the connection with Ukraine, the brand from Ukraine and so on. But how they do costumes, I cannot explain. It's a poetry. It's a story. It's a fairy tale, Each costume made by them. And I'm happy that they are not local anymore. They are international already for some time, because they are dressing also Beyonce and so on. A lot of great artists,
like the worldwide biggest artists.
But these costumes and what they are creating, it was the perfect match and perfect team, and
it worked on cameras also,
brilliant colors. They fitted amazingly. The others were having different colors. One blue, one greenish, something like this.
They were feeling like a band,
they
right?
Were like this. They were like this. Also the chorus. They had the backing vocals.
Backing vocalists, yes.
These neutral dresses with the heart here.
That was brilliant for me to see the storytelling.
The three of them, brilliant moment from
what I really liked on it is that they first of all really put the back vocalist on stage, and they played with them. It wasn't just the people who are singing their back, but they were part of the storytelling, part of this heart, soul feeling. This is a proper storytelling in staging. It's not easy to do. It's very hard to do, to create like a proper non-complicated story, which somebody feels the story, somebody feels just the design. But for me, like how they made it fairy tale-ish, like a dream.
Exactly.
It's a dream. It was a hope.
Yes.
The whole song.
I even interacted with them.
Nice.
I remember.
The song was it was having a soul, because it was a dream, a hope. And you can clearly tell it from this. Of course, absolutely perfect vocals. The rich back vocals. This is what live singing cannot be changed by pre-recorded back vocals, because they are adapting. They are a little bit shaky. They are briefing. They are going through the mics a little bit differently than the pre-record. It's the soul. Because you can feel the person. It's delivering. And for me, this whole thing, even how it was edited, how it was shot, the way how they
But they are amazing in this.
It was brilliant. Of course,
Ukraine,
because I think they have every year a different director, and they just know the craft.
But
they just know the craft, and they always come with something different. Actually, I like this better than the last year performance, because last year I didn't like the way how they connected those two worlds. Because at some point it didn't work together, and also the energy with the artists together didn't work at all, in my opinion. In here, I felt they are the guys on the stage. They are really one band, and they know what they are doing, and they love what they are doing. And I think this is it, that you feel that there is not just Eurovision performance. And when they qualified, it was a crazy moment because they put them last in the three, Cyprus,
Yes.
blah blah blah.
And why it was crazy?
First of all, I think when they won,
Yes.
because they were the last to be announced, he looked very hateful, like very like into the camera, like
Arrogant?
no, I understand it, the emotion, because he was telling like, see it, we are good, all the haters, now you can go somewhere, and I think they deservedly go to the finals. And I'm telling you, this is a dark horse to win Eurovision for me. Because of course they will receive the points from diaspora. Come on, every country who has diasporas, and the diaspora, like the artist who's representing them, will send the points. Everybody's doing it. Poland's doing it. Portugal is doing it.
Romania will do it.
Every country which can do this and loves the artist who's representing them, they will do it. Deal with it. But what I like on approach in Ukraine is that they deserve these votes. They deserve them, and this is a completely different than some other artists who are just for fame. They serving quality. Every country is serving quality, like Ukraine. The Eurovision will be somewhere else already. Thanks God for countries like Ukraine, who even in the situation they can still be better than the most who has no dramas in their countries. So this is actually a brilliant story, and I understand why people voting for them, because also this is a masterpiece. Do it. Many countries are excusing themselves for all the things. We cannot do this, we cannot do that, blah 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 blah. This country is fucked up, and they go there and they nail it. So no country has an issue. No country.
No excuse, basically.
No excuse. So this is what I want to say. Of course, I'm a little bit passionate because I didn't expect that it will be such a huge good performance. It's like really good from also the technical standpoint. So I cannot wait for the masterclass, because there are so many amazing details to tell you how they did something or why this something happened and what kind of little details they put on. Absolutely brilliant. But let's move on.
Yes. Let's move
We are slow, but I think we are going very deep into this. And the next one is Sweden. And with Sweden, may I tell the story? So it ended up, and Ellie was like, "But what it was?" And I was like, "This was the favorite of Eurovision 2025." And Ellie was like, "This?
This bullshit?
We don't need to say this, but yes, actually, I was expecting more, honestly, because again, it proved me that what is so special about this song, and really maybe I have it with some songs that they just missing me. They just miss me. It can happen, and I don't need to be even right, because this is basically completely for me, this is a New Year's Eve funny song. But if I should choose a funny song, I would choose Espresso Macchiato.
Exactly.
Because this is really funny.
Exactly.
But this, I don't know for whom it is done. Really, I don't understand the joke in it.
Yes.
I only what I like is the sauna, but that's it.
Come on.
So, but describe your feeling, because Ellie is not I'm in Eurovision, I'm doing videos, everything, but Ellie is sometimes asking, but she's not in it. So she has completely different point of view than a person who's completely into it as me. So now it's your turn.
Yes, the only thing I can say is that last night when I saw the moment, I had this shock hearing that they are the favorites. I was like, no way. And then I was thinking, but if this is a funny act, and the majority likes it and it's favorite and so on, I was like, but maybe I'm not funny. Maybe it's a problem with me.
Maybe this is my problem also. I don't know, but you are funny definitely.
No, I'm very funny.
Of course you are.
You are also we are funny.
Yes,
This is
our
not
own
funny.
way. No, I also don't find it as that funny.
No.
It doesn't, for some reason, it feels like this okay song. Family okay song. Maybe this is the magic, Maybe this is the magic, but I expect, what I was expecting, because this is not a song for me at all. Also Espresso Macchiato is not a song for me, yes, to be honest.
For me that is.
But I was expecting that Ellie will be immediately jumping on the train because I think this was the very first time seeing the song. Because
The train of what?
the train of the
Desperation?
hype. Of the hype of the song. And Ellie was like absolutely unimpressed watching it, maybe calculating like when it's gonna end. And I was like, so maybe I'm not that crazy.
No, you're not. No.
So I don't understand the sentiment for the song. I think maybe because it's Swedish, maybe because it's non-traditional Swedish song, because they normally send something like huge quality, but stereotypically mainstream songs, let's say in this way, even though have nothing to, like, I don't care, because send quality first, and I don't care if it's mainstream or something, because anyway, Sweden.
Like if you send my name.
This feels like a decadence of Eurovision.
No, like if you want to send a funny act to Eurovision, at least make it funny, but not only for 5 people, you know. Make it funny for the general public, because, like, for example, this espresso macchiato. This is catchy espresso macchiato, you know, in a funny way. This is not. So if you want to send a joke act, a parody, whatever, to Eurovision, at least make it approachable, like in general or for the majority. Like, not like this. I didn't understand anything from there.
Of course, because it was in Swedish.
Not this, the entire staging. I saw some communists there with some...
Amazing point. So Ellie was watching it, and first of all, she was like very boredly watching it, and she's like, but why they are dressed like communists?
And also other people with towels. And then
because they're singing about sauna. That's it.
Yes, amazingly. Like if you sing about sky, you need to shoot it in the skies.
Yes, or water, and you need to drown. This is a good point, actually.
Really?
This is for New Year's Eve.
If you'll ever play this song for New Year's Eve,
in Romania they will kill me. Mama Dracu.
Don't ever do this. Not even like a funny thing.
In Romania they don't like saunas, you know. They like sarmale.
We like icebergs.
Okay, like for me, this didn't work actually. I think I like their performance in Melody Festival better. This somehow lacked of this comedical aspect, and I didn't see it from them, because I'm not completely super avoiding the song, but why would I watch something I don't like just for purpose to saying it all over again, you know? And for me, this is still a mystery, really. It's a really mystery.
And they moved on to the finals?
Yes, of course. Like every funny jokish song made it. Every single one of them. Every partily jokey song made it. So, you want to say something about it? How do you feel about Eurovision when those songs are passing, and for example Slovenia is not passing through?
Never mind Eurovision in general. This performance made me feel unfunny.
I saw it. That's true. That's true. It was.
I was depressed.
Consternated, or how is it called? Like.
I was really
lost time.
No, but I was really concerned. Maybe I don't get humor. I don't have humor. Maybe I'm not funny, and I was living until now with this impression that I'm funny, and all of a sudden everything collapsed. I'm not funny. If this is funny, I'm not funny. Yes. I admit it. I'm not funny.
What can we do? Let's move on then. And let's move on to Portugal. And for Portugal, I was doing 2 months ago a reaction, or no reaction, like this, I'm doing this analytical, who can qualify based on some criteria and so on. And when I was doing this, I was saying that they will probably not qualify if the diaspora, something like this. Because, and also I would say they would qualify if they are juries. And I'm thinking because they qualified. And they brought authenticity song. Okay, the song, in my opinion, a little bit boring. Not what you put as a number 1 top hit on the album, for me, personally, right? But I don't understand the lyrics, even I know what they are about. But the thing is that, of course, they also have a huge diaspora in Europe, as Portugal. And they made it even through with the public vote. They were last in the odds completely. No one trusted them. I didn't even trust it. Even mathematically, when I was thinking about it, I was thinking like, but they might do it. After all, they did it. But I'm telling you that this is the power of diaspora, which is not bad it is part of it. But I'm telling you that that now they will be in the finals. They will do even better score because the juries will even help them more. Because I think the juries praise songs which are not trying to please Eurovision that much, and they are kind of authentic to those artists. And if I can say something about it, is that those artists were also, as Ukrainians, they were loving about what they are singing. The way how they sing the song is trustable. The other thing is the song, and now it's your turn.
I like Portugal, you know.
Who doesn't?
I don't want to talk about that, about any country. The thing is that now I was thinking, of course, my first impression, sorry, Portugal, but maybe we don't get this style, this music style, this ballad style, whatever it is. Or maybe it doesn't get me.
Yes.
I can take this, okay? But it felt boring also for me. It's not like I want to be jumpy in the Eurovision or funny or... It's just that it didn't catch me. It didn't catch me.
Like the other extreme, right?
And now I'm thinking, you know, about Slovenia, who didn't... because he was also having a ballad, you know? Like for me, that ballad was, at least was emotional. Like I had the goosebumps, you know? It wasn't boring. This one, by compare, and maybe it's not fair that I'm comparing them, you know, but I compare
It is,
them,
but I will then tell you some conclusions.
I compare them only by the means of being a ballads, you know, soft songs, I don't know.
Yes.
From this point of view only, yes. So then I don't understand some things.
No, this is what
error.
This is how we started with the beginning. Slovenia doesn't have diaspora and neighbor vote, and Portugal had it.
Yes, and this
And
is
that's
not fair. So bring back the jury.
There is no balance, you know. Like, but I'm telling you that with the juries they will qualify, but also Slovenia would qualify.
Exactly. At least then it will be
So
fair.
of course I have no hard feelings against it. It was a big surprise, especially because of what I saw after. But why not? Like Portugal, for me personally, it's one of the best countries at Eurovision. Not because of what every time they send. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. But you know what I like on them? That they have a vision and they fulfilling the vision they have. Doesn't matter if I sometimes like it or not, but they are very not strict, but they, like, you can tell from the steps the public broadcaster is doing, how they are approaching Eurovision, how they are approaching the national selection.
They're driven.
But you know the way they want to do.
Yes.
But they are not changing it. They're maybe adjusting it, but they're not changing it. They do it. It has a clear thing. It has a clear vision. You can name the vision. They're supporting the local artists. They're supporting Portuguese music. This is their goal. Somebody, maybe it's not that international from some point of view, doesn't matter, but they know what they want to do and they're fulfilling it. And they're fulfilling it firmly, and they always bring authenticity because this is what they are focusing at. And I love it because
I remember you praised them also last year, and
yes,
it's not that me, for example, I like how Portuguese sounds, the language.
Yes.
I like it.
because it's very similar to Romanian.
Playful, very, I don't know, it has something. It's very sweet for the ear. I don't know how to say it, you know. I like it, how it sounds. But
And actually, you know, there is a thing about we were talking, but I need to say it right now. There is a word in Portuguese which is called saudade, and Portuguese say that it doesn't have a translation, but it has a translation in Romanian, which is dorule. It's the same meaning. So it's fascinating that how they are the farthest Latin countries from each other. If I don't take the ocean, I don't know, but it's fascinating me how this is connected. But for me, I know I'm happy for those guys very much.
like me too, of course, for everyone who qualified.
They used the advantage they had.
I'm happy also for the ones who didn't qualify. They also deserve, bravo.
Applause.
It's just that
Costumes?
at least they were casual, they were cool. I think it was according to the moment, nothing extra, nothing, just keep it simple, normal, and it works in their case.
Although the staging was like this. Of course, now when I stop it, it's complicated, but when you see it in live,
It looks very simple.
it's extremely simplistic.
Yes.
Nothing really. They just reshape the arena with those lights and enjoy the music. Enough. Maybe might be enough, because you know why? Because the music, although the song is simplistic in the melody and everything, you don't need all the crazy tricks. Sometimes the music itself is the carrier, and only what you need to do by cameras to really pinpoint this atmosphere, you know, be exactly the slow with the camera, how the song is, fast when it is fast, cliche when it needs to be a cliche. Just doesn't need to reinvent the wheel. Make it feeling. It's the most important emotion, not the ice. Anyway, let's move on. So let's move on to Norway, lighter. Alessandro.
Hercule.
This young guy who you said that he has a skin like a baby.
No, I didn't say this.
What did you say? You said something like this.
I think he looks better than me, and I'm a woman. Like his skin looks better than mine.
So we are like a baby. This is how I translated it to myself.
Yes, but how I put it, it's more. It has a deeper meaning.
But explain it. I think we can be very honest in here.
No. Like
that he doesn't look like a man.
yes.
This is what you want to say.
He's wearing an armor, and for me, this is a contradiction. Like, sorry, you cannot wear dudlik,
Which is like pacifier.
and also an armor. You know, something like this. You cannot. You need to decide. Your mama's boy or your man.
But a question, right? Because where you were telling about Poland that they dressed them those dancers and so on, that if they use just one element and they make it modern, it might look cool. Doesn't this fulfilling this at some point? If you look this image,
it does, and I like the outfit really. The problem is the person who's wearing the outfit
doesn't belong, right?
Doesn't fit. Like you need to.
For me, we were talking about it after, and I was telling, like, I don't understand why they didn't just dress him normally, modernly. Why he needs to wear armor? But I think I have this issue with Norway's songs. This kind for this Z. I think this is Generation Z thing, really. Because it's missing me. I understand the topic, but when you then hear the lyrics, it doesn't really colorate. Then when you see the staging and everything, how he moves, it's definitely unmanly. You know, it's nice, but with combination with the armor. It's kind of very weird. Armor is masculine. I know that now it's a trend to say everybody can be it's masculine, it's toxic, and like no, like to wear armor, which was extremely heavy, you needed to be you need to have a muscle. Otherwise, you are not able to wear it because it will destroy you, or you cannot move.
Will break your back.
Or you wouldn't be able to move.
Your spine.
So it's a contradiction even to the dance. For me, it was feeling like a parody because in armor you cannot really dance like this. It's like Monty Python, a little bit. And for me, like the song, for example, I kind of like. It's this classical Eurovision dancey song. I got used to it. I accepted it, but I don't understand the setup to it. For me, they tried. I don't know what they tried. What was the image? But for me, it doesn't work. If they really approach it as a Spanish, vibe-ish song, dancey, fresh, modern, I would probably take it more than this kind of artificial play. But on the other hand, I read this was the most the most Eurovision act. If somebody said Eurovision, I see this. For me, I also kind of see this, but I don't like it. I would like that things make sense more. That would look good, but he qualified. And I must say that for me was a surprise, not because of the song. For me it was a surprise because the singing was not really good. And, from my analysis before, from last 2 years when also the public voting was only, whoever couldn't sing didn't qualify. But this year, already we had 3 songs, including this one, where the artists really had issues with singing and they qualified. So, but again, neighbor voting, neighbor voting, and also like public needed to like it. I don't know. I would be very curious about the jury vote in here. Very very curious because the levels we will not see the jury vote.
Yes, the thing is, don't wear an armor if you're not a man or Senna. Because I want to be equal, men, women. But if you are a boy, a teenage or don't. It doesn't belong there. It's forced, It's not
forced.
It's not coming from you. Like, accept who you are and what you are. All the ages, all the stages. Don't try to fit in something you're not.
Because
we feel this. Like you can feel this. It doesn't. Something is to the left, to the right.
Yes.
No. Sorry.
Okay, but he
the
qualified.
outfit, I like it. But taken...
Taken out of the person.
Yes.
It is pity, but let's be also honest about it, because for me also it's a huge contradiction. Also the song doesn't fit the armor.
Yes.
It's a dancey Spanish song. You know? I don't know. Anyway, he qualified. So congratulations. And let's move on to Belgium. And I think this was the staging you really, really liked.
Oh, it was brilliant staging.
But first tell me about the dress, because I know he's a Red Sebastian. And for me, for example, to be really honest, like he was for me very unpleasant to watch like this. And it's not against him. I like the song, I like the staging, I also like the performance, but I didn't like it with the outfit in combination, because for me it was super too much forced to something what it's not visually pleasing for me personally, very subjectively, but it is what it is. I cannot do anything about it. So I'm curious now what you say about the outfit, because I think you had also 1-2 points during the
Yes,
or after.
first of all, I was pitying him for how he must have felt in that costume. I don't know if you have ever tried a latex costume. Put it on and also dance and sing on the stage with lights and cameras towards you. It's sauna multiplied by 100.
Oh my god.
So I appreciate him for having this performance in this costume. It's crazy. It's crazily wearing it. It's plastic, you know?
Yes.
I think when he took it off, his skin got also off.
Poor, he was really Red Sebastian. Yes. Poor guy.
Like, what can I say?
Like, poor guy, because I will, what do you say about the performance?
No, let me finish with the costume.
No, sorry.
With the performance, it's yours.
Okay.
You know it better. No, but the thing is that I'm watching every time Eurovision and also ceremony and also other things, TV shows and so on, from a selfish point of view. One of the reasons, because I want to get inspired by the costumes, by the fabrics, by the, I want to see what is new, what
You're
is
basically
trendy,
Ali's watching TV and working, This is the translation.
I cannot stop it. So I would expect to see something more avant-garde-ish, Latex, everyone knows about latex. We've seen it on all in all colors, in all the cuttings, shapes, designs, whatever. When in this world, they are, they are inventing new fabrics, amazing ones, textures. They are, the technology is brilliant. And you wear this plastic, which is not fantastic.
Like, I would say it was a personal choice, because this is kind of
course,
his...
it's his statement.
Yes.
But like, if you want to be Red Sebastian and you're something else and you wear makeup, I was telling to you also that he's wearing one time more makeup than I'm wearing the entire year.
But you're not wearing it, so...
I'm not wearing it like 2 times per year more. That's why I said that he's wearing for 3 minutes more makeup than I'm wearing for the entire year. So his personal choice, okay, but his personal statement, okay, but let's upgrade it, because it's too bad of this amazing staging they did also with those dancers who impersonated him, something like this, or multiplied him. It was a brilliant idea, amazing effect. I was like, wow. But this latex, again, like, is cheap. You know how cheap the latex is, the fabric itself?
No, but actually I can...
Like, if you want to be that cool and you want to Red Sebastian, everything, makeup.
But I don't think it was the Red Sebastian.
No, like...
Because also the posture and everything was kind of...
But
actually,
I'm saying that he wants to be a character, yes?
Yes.
He has a character. This is what I'm saying. If you want to be a character, you need to be above others, normal people, let's say, normal people.
Yes, but
like
I think everybody understands what you mean, yes.
So upgrade also this, you know, let's move on, no, I've seen it, I've worked with latex, I love it, but Eurovision at this level, we need to... But
Yes.
maybe he wanted to connect it with the sexual area.
This is actually my impression.
Because
and I think this is...
remember I told you this position of him, like
Yes.
a doggy style or something?
Yes, this was very unpleasant, yes.
What is he doing here? He's having sex on the stage.
You mean this one?
Yes. Is he having sex with himself on the stage? What the... But I was happy.
BDSM costume,
Yes,
you know.
but I was happy his pants didn't crack here, because in latex in this position is very dangerous. You don't do this. You don't.
So it was a good latex.
At least it was a strong, yes, latex, and the quality of the latex was good, and also the quality of the swing was good.
Definitely, because you can see this detail right over here. That probably it also releases the pressure everywhere.
Exactly, because you cannot do this kind of movements in latex. It will crack.
Yes, the thing is, for me, like, I will now tell you that he didn't qualify.
He didn't?
No. It was a big shock. He was one of the favorites to win Eurovision.
Like, I would qualify him for the staging, and that's it.
I, as a juror,
of
in
course,
compared
this
to
is
others,
not,
I would also qualify him, because that definitely wasn't the worst thing
It wasn't.
there, and not even by far. But regardless, that somehow, something doesn't work for me on him. Maybe because it's not the same vibe. Let's call it this way. Okay, whatever. This is not neither of our problem after all.
Yes.
But he wasn't singing those low registers extremely well.
Yes, you
Not
told me.
not sure. But again, if this is the reason why he didn't qualify, the people say he cannot sing, why they sent Norway, why they sent Iceland, why they sent Finland, Estonia, it kind of makes no sense. So I have two theories. First is that this kind of music, this very ravish and so on, doesn't really work on the audience. Second of all, like the general audience, who are after all voting, like much more people, like Eurovision bubble always thinks that it's very powerful, but I know the statistics, and it's less than 1% of the whole viewers, less than 1%. So you can imagine that it's like a drop in the water, kind of powerful, amazing, I love it, but somehow it's not reflecting the reality. Second of all, could be this vibe he had on me. Kind of, I needed to more focus on the song and so on, not on him. That it also he could have on the other people in general in Europe. And also I think the sentiment in Europe, it's a little bit like enough, kind of. And this is not against him personally or something, but
Of course.
I think everybody who now hears it understands, like please, like, do we need to do latex? Like what it adds to the song. Are you okay? My God, what it adds to the song, something. So I think this was that might be the first issue. What, for example, also last year this Oli Alexander had.
Oh.
But I think he also felt more about. Of course, he couldn't sing, but
you know what I don't understand? Okay, he has this character. He has this statement. He is red from head to toe. Okay, but you need to respect some boundaries, to not go to one extreme. And I don't understand the team around them.
Like you don't need
why
to.
they don't advise them, or they don't guide them to, because you need, when you...
Like if you want to succeed in the world in general of something, there are some boundaries, and it's not boundaries
Exactly.
but respect some rules in the way of for example, you don't go to the opera with the shorts.
For example.
Yes, and if you go there, everybody will look at you as an idiot, and it's like, don't look at me as an idiot. Like, this is discrimination. No, like, it's not really. It doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't belong. Doesn't work. And I think the era is, let's push on the boundaries. Okay, do it, but then you will fail, because the general public will not accept it. I think, and this is not against something or homophobia or something. It's like, no, it's annoying. It's
too much.
It's too much.
This is the thing.
And
it's
I think
too much,
I think this is one of the points which maybe break his neck, because otherwise the staging was great. But also to the staging. Like I saw there are moments which doesn't work for me technically. Yes, okay. But overall, the whole image and everything was brilliant. The dramaturgy of it, how it was escalating, the end was perfect.
It was over the top.
It's perfect, but I think he lost the audience before. This is my impression, but still, this was one of the high points of the show, in my opinion. Like this, one of those showstopper things, a little bit, at least from the combination of songs we had on this in the semi-final, and with the juries, for sure he didn't end up last. I don't believe it. I don't believe that he ended up like I think he would qualify with them. Also with the staging, because the staging was following everything what was fitting to the song. It wasn't something trying to also please some minority whatsoever. No, it was really good. It was really good. After all, he was authentic in his role, kind of. And when he getting higher and higher in the register, he really sang perfectly. And it worked. So there is this issue. And then there is third issue that there was also Cyprus in the lineup with basically identical song with just different colors, different artists. But I don't know if you didn't fall asleep already. No, I don't think so.
Is this
with the scaffolds?
guy with this and also dancers?
Yes. He also didn't qualify, by the way.
But
It's
see,
unexpected.
I was awake at that point. I remember.
But this is everything what we wanted to say about Belgium. Pitifully, also this shown that in Belgium next year we can expect some crazy jokish act if they will continue, because they will say let's stop with serious songs. We don't need to bring somebody who can sing. We need somebody who is funny. I think like if you're a producer, you would do this, right? Because you want to succeed, otherwise you're failed. And succession is to going to the finals, not to win Eurovision. This is the ultimate succession. But the ultimate thing is when your broadcaster spends so much money at Eurovision, you need to get to the finals,
but
right?
I really hope that people who work in this industry, music, and who are artists by default, I really hope they will not forget why they are doing what they are doing, first of all.
No, but they
are doing.
They will not. But do they want to go to Eurovision?
This is debatable.
Like I would question it,
Of course.
Of course, previous year they sent an artist who couldn't sing, and also they did a staging with million microphones. He didn't even using,
with the microphones. Oh.
Yes, but this was really good. They did everything. So pitifully. Anyway, let's move on. And the other.
Can we do a pause, please?
Okay, pausa. So we are back after a little pause, and we have in front of us Lucio Corsi from Italy. And I just for you to remember this.
I remember him.
May I start?
Of course.
I think it was, even though I would a little bit elevate the staging, a little bit, just little touches with the lights, to a little bit support the beat to make it a little bit more dynamic, not crazily, but a little bit, very gentle, extremely gentle. I must say that this is also how the music can be performed on such a huge level. Because after all, the music is presented by the artist, right? And here it's all about the artist, the long piano. Yeah, the artist also is
brilliant.
Also his piano partner artist, and also that they put this translation so everybody who can speak English can understand the song meaning. And I think this is one of the strongest performances this Eurovision have. Also in the song, also in the artist, because you can first of all say the love for music. He didn't come to Eurovision to win it. He came to enjoy the song, in my opinion. He didn't came to impress. He went. I think he's doing the same at the concerts. It's like you have such an artist to go at Eurovision to present what he really normally does on every single other level, just a little bit enhanced with those big subwoofers, whatever speakers. It was pure. Natural, authentic music, and basically that's it. What I should say, because I think he was embodying this performance during the whole time. That even though he looks like how he looks, and it must not be pleasant for everybody to watch, I think he can win everybody's heart just because of it. It doesn't really matter how you look. After all, if you present yourself like this, and that's it from my side.
Like what else?
I don't know what was your impression to this.
Like my first impression was like, why is he also wearing a makeup? Why all the men in Eurovision are wearing a makeup? But you told me that he's wearing this makeup like all the time in
Almost,
concerts,
yes.
or performances.
It's somehow his thing, yes.
Then I understand, you know, it's his thing somehow. Also, like Marilyn Manson was having this, you know. But I believed him, you know. Like also the dress, the outfit, although it's also unusual for a man to wear this, but I believed this. I believed it because it was, you could see it's authentic, you know. And I like that there are two different characters on the stage, you know, totally different.
Totally different.
Totally, also by clothing, hairstyle, everything.
Which normally you would say this cannot work, right?
Exactly. I would say that, talking from this stylistic point of view, I would say that this doesn't work together on stage, but they worked amazing. I liked it, you know, nothing disturbed me.
I loved it. It was emotional, kind of.
Yes.
And it was at some point very uplifting also, the way how somebody has the vocal, which tells the story itself, even if he's doing like melody, you know. And I think this is exactly him, like a pure form artist on the stage.
And I like that he was also somehow, at least this is what it got to me, that this humbleness, you know, the humbleness of being an artist in front of people, for people, you know, not for himself. This is how I felt it. He was there for people.
Somehow this,
you know,
very old school feeling, right?
Yes.
Amazing. In my opinion, amazing. For me,
Very
he
nice.
became like a huge favorite to win the whole contest.
Like for you?
Yes, yes. He and the
But
Ukrainians,
they qualified, yes?
like they are automatic qualifiers.
Okay.
They shouldn't be in this part of the show, but okay, it is what it is. But I enjoyed this performance, and then because we have nothing else to say to this, let's move on to the biggest disappointment for me, because this is my favorite song, Azerbaijan, and their song from Mama Gama, which is called Run With You.
Very nice song.
Very nice
But
song.
I don't know how to put this. The artist, the main artist, it was something weird about him. His voice, he's looking like a man, but he's singing like I don't know how to
Like a girl.
like a girl. I don't want to offend anyone, but I was expecting, you know, different vocals from this man, you know, when I saw him on stage.
But I will tell you the reason why. I think it would work in different color palette. If it's uplifting, funny, colorful song.
It was kind of dark.
That
the entire
and it was
atmosphere.
rockish. It was rockish. But the song, if it's not, it's a rock song. It's not. It's a funk song. Funky. It has similar melody to this Happy from Pharrell Williams. And if it goes this pattern with this urban feeling, modern, fresh, relaxed, sprays, colors, cool,
fresh,
you would also understand the vocal, because it would somehow go with it, you know, Bruno Marsish.
Yes.
You would go with it, but it was rock setup, the graphics, the visuals, everything orange, fire, whatsoever, dresses was a rock, hard stuff, you know. And to this you are like you're singing like this, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work for the melody of the song. It doesn't work for anything. And I know that the previous contestant of them, he was attacking Eurovision. What else they want at Eurovision? That was everything. Fire, the costumes, the dancers. But it's not about this. It was completely out of context. It didn't fit. If you put it and it fits, no one would say anything. And maybe then, even though they wouldn't qualify, and I would say a robbery. But I think they didn't qualify. And the only ones who really didn't qualify just for their own mistakes.
They didn't qualify?
No.
But
I think they
song.
yes, but I think they didn't qualify because of their own creative decisions. This is, I think, the clear example of how not to approach Eurovision, especially if you know that you're not Poland. If you're come on, but if you're a Poland, and you would do this, and people likes you, you will go through, because it somehow, although you would kind of eat it, it's from Poland, right? But Azerbaijan also doesn't have those friendly countries too much to vote for them and everything. So you must do everything not to please the people, but please the song.
Yes.
You must please the song, elevate it. But if you do exactly the opposite to the song to please Eurovision, with dancers, fires, and so on, then you don't understand the concept of Eurovision, because Eurovision is not this must be at Eurovision. Because this Lucio Corsi showed you, there was nothing what would scream Eurovision, right? It's not about it. It's about to find a soul of the music, of the song, and elevate it on the stage. And this was contradicting the song, and that would never work. Never really. Maybe not even for the Poland. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. And simply, there is nothing else to say, because from the perspective from costumes and so on, like if you just separate it from the song, nice. It would probably work.
Yes.
Everything on point.
But they are two
the
different
material.
worlds.
But they are two different worlds. You
Yes.
cannot connect it. And it's wrong, and people will never eat it up because it's disturbing for them then don't blame Eurovision for it, blame yourself. This is what I would just say. And it's a sad thing for me to say, because this is the only song from Eurovision this year I have on my playlist. I'm listening it every day. And that at least shows that I'm not biased, right? It was a big disappointment for me. So let's move on.
Remember I told you about the costumes of the dancers?
Oh
What I
yes,
said?
you said that they are same as the Adonis, right?
Yes. And I wanted to check if it's the same
Same designer?
designer.
I will try to find a shot where it's visible. Here, it's visible a little
At least
bit.
the upper part.
It might be. So check it, and I will try to find a good shot so I can put it here on the screen to show people. Here it's no.
But what is the name of this designer?
This what I don't remember. Some Spanish name.
Spanish name. I don't know where to find it.
Here it was. Here. You can see it here. I will take a screenshot again. I don't know if I will put those screenshots after all, yes, there, but I will try.
But how to check? I will find designer of Adam.
Let's do it differently. Let's
Maybe you also know. Or you
let's
can
put it
find out.
differently. Let's me do this in post production. I will write it here as a notice if it is or not, and then we can also discuss about it in the comments below. But it's the same pattern. You can see it on this girl, exactly
The sleeves,
this over.
yes, this cut specific.
Anyway, but let's move on, because there is no much time, because I need to watch the end of the cup of where Sparta Prague is playing football. And let's move on to San Marino, because this is the song you really liked.
Yes,
So what did you like on it?
the vibe. It was good vibe. It has a good vibe, the song, and it's also commercial somehow. Like I could hear it in a club, and enjoy it also on radio. I could enjoy it.
It's catchy.
It's catchy. I didn't understand those
Masks,
masks on those
singers.
on stage. But for example, they were having amazing costumes. I couldn't tell exactly the fabric they were made of, but you can
I
tell
don't know
it's
if I have a good
somehow
resolution.
futuristic.
Yes, I don't know.
Futuristic fabric.
Can you
know?
tell?
Somehow leatherish, also plastic somehow, I think. But see the
reflection.
The reflection somehow is very interesting, and for sure it's.
But it works on camera.
It works exactly.
And my thing is, it's not that I can agree, it's a very catchy song. It's not my crazy type of songs, but unless all the other jokish acts, this was kind of very true to itself. Somehow. He was a DJ, okay. I think the smart thing was that they put him a microphone, so at least somehow he could scream and something. A little bit cringy maybe for Eurovision, but he showed that also DJ can appear at Eurovision. And unless many others, but from professional point of view, I think they did amazing staging for it. Because because somebody was complaining about why did you put those AI graphics. Like if you've been on any rave party, big LED screens, this is now what's happening. Everybody is putting AI graphics there. It really works.
You go to this kind
Like
of
I was
parties?
on, no, not really, but I was on some, and also I also watch Instagram, so I see what's going on, like in the world of DJs and so on, and they on the LEDs there are all those crazy AI imaginations. So it was very true to represent the category he's belonging to.
Yes.
After all, I didn't also mind the guys with the mask. I was enjoying it more as a song itself, and it was a big party. It was a big party. If this is what Eurovision should have, this is a big question, of course. But again, we don't have juries. It's only people. People said, yes, we want this at Eurovision. And from my perspective, okay, I don't feel it's somehow wrong, because what actually is wrong then? There is no rule existing anymore. So it only will tell what kind of music will be appearing at Eurovision in upcoming years. This is what's happening. You always need to see a bigger, wider picture. That you live for the moment, but many producers who are having a vision and trying to embody Eurovision, establish it, and step by step play it, basically all those little things are really making their job basically impossible, maybe sometimes even to fulfill properly. Or they will do the thing what I'm a little bit worried about Czechia. They will go the kind of pleasing way, But this is a topic. Let's see how it is. This qualify, I have nothing else to say. I had a very positive feeling from it.
Yes.
I probably wouldn't vote for it, but okay. And he qualified.
Yes.
San Marino qualified. So let's move on, and let's move on to something what I really, really love.
This dress.
And this is Albania, Škodra Elektronike, and Zierm. For me,
What did you say?
Zierm, it's called the song Zierm. You cannot say it, right?
Zierm.
Zierm. This is how it's called. It's in Albanian.
Zierm.
Zierm. He was telling this guy when he was singing.
Yes.
If I can start only
Yes,
from the
of
impression.
course.
No, but then you will talk about the dress a lot.
No. A little.
A little bit, okay. I must say that the performance I really loved. I love the staging. I love the performance. I love how they manage this cringy moment of the guy starting to singing or reciting. But they did it the way that the build-up atmosphere to this moment and the way how they did it was. I normally had goosebumps. I'm not telling it. I'm normally feeling the chills, over my body, because it was absolutely fascinating for me. Ellie didn't like the dance. I kind of liked it. But I like the whole general impression, how it was connected to this, how also the red and white, how always it was like, I want to change you. No, the red will win. The white will win. The red will win. Like all of it kind of made sense. This is a storytelling. This is a storytelling, even you don't know it's a storytelling. And of course, her notes, her singing, natural. This is in compared to Spain. This is a modern diva.
Exactly.
This is it. It's not forced.
Exactly.
It's enjoyable. It's a power, but I don't need to show it by expression. I'm living it, and that's completely different.
She
Loved it.
She
owned it. Yes,
She
completely.
on the stage with her vocals. I love her vocals, and what I really enjoyed the most from her appearance is that the outfit really fitted her. Like you could feel that she's wearing the outfit and not the opposite, which was the case, for example, in that armor from Norway.
Yes.
So she was wearing the outfit, and she wore an amazing outfit for her hair, long black, also the red lips, perfect with her face, with everything. And here, this is, from my point of view, an example of an outfit for Eurovision stage, but modern, like diva. How you said it? Modern diva. This is it. Like I have nothing else to.
Absolutely
to
brilliant for me. This definitely should, and because it also qualified through people.
They qualified, yes.
They qualified, thanks God. And in my opinion, they will go very high also with the juries, because there is also almost no match to this.
And I also like the song.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it, even if you saw I don't understand anything, but it catch me. I felt it. It was, I cannot even say the style of the song. It was something, a fusion.
Fusion of folk and some modern indie. Yes.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. Like really one
Like
of the
also
peaks.
her outfit. Sorry.
Yes.
Her outfit was a fusion somehow.
Of some
Fabrics
of
also
some
style.
and tradition.
She was wearing a glove on one hand and the other was free,
But on cameras it worked absolutely brilliantly.
It was a fusion from the beginning till the end with everything. So this is,
Yes.
what you are talking about.
Yes, we both really liked it, and thanks God also this people pull on, because I think if it's something extraordinary, and even they are diaspora or not, it's like Ukraine. If you deserve it if you really deserve it, like not on the verge of qualification, let's say like Slovenia, but still I think should qualify, but something very clearly qualifying, because it's not annoying. It was showing everything in the perfect light how it should be, and in my opinion, one of the big favorites also to win Eurovision from my perspective. But let's move on.
Let's see.
And
this
this
guy.
you really like. And I also love the whole general thing. We are at the Netherlands, Claude and
This
Tel
guy.
Aviv.
This guy.
Tell me.
Like, I know this song already. I don't know where I heard it. Maybe on radio, on TikTok, on I don't know where, but I knew it.
I definitely didn't play it, so
No, so it's already a popular song. He has a brilliant voice, brilliant. He also looks amazing on stage. I really like this color of this burgundy color, how it fits his dark skin. I love it. I must admit I didn't like that much those pearl details here. You know, it looks for me like they were how to
unnecessary detail.
unnecessary, and also it felt like they were put there by a kid, you know, but not in a funny way, you know, how a kid would do it, but more like amateurish. I don't know.
Not perfect.
This it kind of, from my point of view, it ruins the entire, you know, it gets the attention unnecessary. It's extra something that
doesn't need to be there.
it doesn't need to be there. The color on his skin, it's enough. Also, he has an accessory in this part, also pearls on his neck, you know, it's too much. Why? To distract the attention with so many details, unnecessary.
Because actually here his face is the most important part, and his movement, the
and
body language.
The voice, it's very, I remember I was telling you, it's very meaty. Like from meat. It's very powerful, very, I don't know how to call it.
Meaty, yes, beefy, or very, very
strong.
Like very filled, kind
very
of.
Very filled, yes.
And what I really liked on it, like there are some, on masterclass I will talk about it later, how they could even elevate it a little bit more, gently, but it would really, really help, at least for a person like me, to even get more into the song. But his posture, his body language, his storytelling, his eyes and face expression,
Yes.
they tell that you must enjoy it, or you're like, otherwise what? He's the, like, I think this is the guy everybody likes. Everybody, doesn't matter, woman, man, you know, older or younger.
Yes.
He's this super approachable friend you want to have. He has always the fun, but he's also the pleasant, the guy who, when you're falling, he takes your hand and smiles, you know. This absolutely pleasant, down to earth character with some drama, and with the joy from the drama. And this is what all those emotions I felt through the song, which was extremely pleasantly shot. It was one shot. The whole thing was a one shot. I think maybe
Like,
all the whole
yes,
thing.
I remember. Also with those violins.
Yes, I think it was one shot Steadicam.
Yes.
I'm not 100% sure. I would need to see it. But the way how he was dancing over there and going
felt
and
like he
floating.
was flying
After
and
all,
was
I didn't feel
swimming.
cringy. Also, this LED mirror, you know, with the boy.
Ah, yes.
It was
At
nice.
the end, it was
Yes,
this one.
it was somehow.
This one I liked. See, this is a use of photos or videos on stage. I really enjoyed it because it was different. It was somehow, it has the moment, a story, you know, a purpose there.
Purpose, yes.
On stage, you know. I need to see on, like, talking, for example, about Slovenia, he had his wife at the end on stage. Why it was necessary to have also pictures from the beginning with her, you know? This is what I'm saying.
Maybe too literal, right?
It was too in my face. It felt like he was putting everything on the table from the beginning. This was it.
Maybe too much trying to take your
Yes. Maybe this also didn't help him.
Maybe also this didn't make him help him, that he was pushing too much, as we say, too much sewing.
Yes, from my point of view, this.
Yes, but
the downside of
this is
Slovenia.
again one of the favorites to win, in my opinion, because I think
Good.
because
It
I
has
think
a
he
lot
can
of
because I
chances.
think he can touch both the audience and also the jurors
For sure.
in the bigger combination,
For sure.
because he's universally good.
Good.
And
It's a good song.
and for me, this is a big future European star, the only one from the line. International, yes.
Good.
Because he has it. He has the charisma of this, and this is, you cannot tell it about everyone. But let's move on to Croatia. That was this Marko Bošnjak with the song.
The one I told you, it reminds me about Ireland last year.
Yes,
With this witchy
and also the
atmosphere.
switching of the song. I would say, from my point of view, they did everything what they could with the staging. Even though they completely topped it, but I think such a song which is not strong enough, but it's chaotic, must be also chaotic. And by staging, technically, they did everything what they should do right. The thing what didn't work, first of all, I think he didn't work that much. Like, no, the thing is that, for example, his vocal, right? They hide it so much into behind the effects and the back vocals that you couldn't really tell when he's singing or not. But then there is this moment when he was screaming twice in a row. Ah. And I think that was the killer moment completely, because the song was really as the poison cake. It has so many ingredients, but who would like to eat a poison cake if you know this is a poison cake, right? I think nomen omen. It basically tell you not to eat it, and public didn't eat it.
They didn't qualify?
No.
I understand why. Like I told you, first of all, it immediately reminded me from about Ireland last year,
Yes.
with the staging and the story on stage, the concept, whatever. The costumes, maybe they wanted, it was intentional to be that kitschy somehow, you know.
It was storytelling wise, but they, of course, it didn't belong to the.
No, like
Everybody should be witchy, right? Kind of.
yes, and I didn't understand.
Or
For
scary.
example, if we have a witchery moment, why you put there lace, which is elegant, which is luxurious, which is very
You would put more something like a rotten.
more rough, you know. I didn't buy this moment because
Okay, this is a nice touch. I didn't
because
speak
the
about
lace
it.
doesn't fit here with the fur or whatever he has there. Lace and fur, you know, it's forced. And he was wearing also lace. I don't know if you saw it, but for example, he was wearing a white blouse, and on this blouse or shirt, I don't know exactly, there were it was black lace. They are wearing white lace leggings, you know. Also these details of black lace. Look, you could see there.
I need to
Here,
find a more.
see?
Yes.
And he's wearing.
Maybe this is also the same designer, because he's this designer from Adonis. This is
No, I don't think so.
this is his trademark.
I don't think. I don't know, but it was attached, you know, like sewn on top.
Something forced which doesn't belong.
This lace. Like why?
Eurovision. I will tell you why. It's a Eurovision design decision. You know. It's exactly what we were talking. What is unnecessary on this Red Sebastian. You don't need to show me in the face who you are. If you play the role, right? It doesn't help anything. It just feels that there is again something wrong, and maybe this is exactly those little details, friends. This is fascinating. Little details which is hard to describe. Sometimes you don't know something doesn't work, and you don't know why. And sometimes are those little details which you cannot describe. Which then when you say, "Aha," so that might be the thing why this didn't. You know, it's like this spin in Slovenia.
Yes,
it doesn't belong. Why is there?
The thing is that everything needs to be connected for the eye to be pleasantly
To not give a chance.
satisfied. You know, for all the senses to be satisfied. You know, if my ear is satisfied, then also my eyes needs to be satisfied. You know, and then you are stabbing my eyes with this lace when we are talking about witchery. I've never seen a witch dressed in lace. Which lace is like, for example, French lace. It's very, you know, aristocratic. It's elevated. Something didn't belong there to each other.
Which was this, and also I think the song wasn't that good. Croatia didn't make it. Not a surprise for this. I won't cry. No, really, like, come on. It was a, you know what I don't like. I don't like those songs. I also didn't like the Bambi Tak song, but at least when she went on
You
the
like the staging?
yes, because it was supporting